CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a nationwide strike for Canada Post workers. They're back on the picket line after major changes were announced today, fundamentally shifting Canadian mail delivery in the years to come. Rachel Aiello reports.
Canada Post, an institution generations of Canadians have relied on, is effectively insolvent. And so the federal government has ordered immediate changes to how and how often Canadians' mail is delivered, including lifting the 10-year moratorium on converting Canadians to community mailboxes.
I want to be clear. Canada Post has an obligation to serve all Canadians in every community in Canada, and that will not change.
While 3/4 of Canadians already receive mail in a communal location, the move will bring an end to door-to-door delivery for 4 million addresses within 9 years.
Canada Post will inform Canadians as they go.
Citing reduced demand, Canada Post is also being told to lower its letter mail delivery standard, meaning instead of it taking between 2 and 4 days for small deliveries, it could take up to 7. And changes are also coming to rural post office operations, as recently recommended by an industrial inquiry.
These measures will help stabilize Canada Post's financial situation by generating close to $500 million per year.
Since 2018, Canada Post has lost more than $5 billion and is on track to lose close to $1.5 billion this year. And uncertainty about the reliability of Canada Post as a result of the festering labor dispute has exacerbated the crisis. Now, a move the minister hoped would bring both sides back to the table has led to a nationwide strike.
We are the members that move, the employees that move mail in the major plants in the country, and all the way down to the delivery. Nothing will be moving at this point until we come to a collective agreement.
Before the news of the strike broke, the Crown Corporation welcomed the sweeping changes, and its CEO vowed to urgently implement them. But now, Canada Post plans, much like the mail, may be on hold. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
London police say they're investigating a shooting in the southwest end of the city, calling it a targeted incident. With more on the investigation and how the neighborhood is reacting, here's Sean Irvin.
This newer home on Crown Grant Road east of Colonel Talbot bears the sign of a shooting. London police waited 2 days to inform the public of the gunfire they say was targeted. The incident occurred around 3 a.m. on Tuesday morning.
It's shocking. You wouldn't think anything would happen in this neighborhood like this.
Both police and residents report that security video shows at least one person got out of a vehicle and fired multiple rounds at the residents.
There were individuals inside of the home at the time of the reported shooting. However, there were no reported injuries, thankfully.
The bullets struck the garage and a vehicle. The SUV hit was not parked in the driveway Thursday morning, but we're told it had at least one bullet hole. We spoke with several neighbors who live near the shooting site. None report they heard the shots, but all are unnerved.
Yes, very disturbing, finding out something like this happened next door. It's very scary feeling.
The incident follows a recent break-in on the same block.
We were in Winnipeg for 15 years. At that time, we never heard, anything like this happened in the city.
Which is why some here are relieved that a 2024 city tax increase went to hiring more officers.
Certainly with the things that are happening in the city, we need more police officers looking around and kind of just scoping neighborhoods a little bit more.
Police are seeking a dark-colored sedan in connection with the incident. Investigators are pleading for witnesses to come forward. In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
This weekend marks homecoming for Western University students and alumni. In anticipation of the expected festivities, London police are preparing, making sure partygoers enjoy themselves safely. Jerry DeWan reports.
Homecoming always brings a large gathering on Broughdale Ave with a lot of energy.
Happy homecoming!
Rachel Penrith is a second-year Western software engineering student. She says she and her housemates are considering visiting Broughdale on Saturday.
Most of the time I've gone, everyone's been very polite and nice. It's never too much.
A number of local agencies have formed the Unsanctioned Street Party Task Force, working together to ensure gatherings don't become too much.
We are enforcing a number of laws with respect to open liquor, noise bylaws, some of those larger unsanctioned gatherings.
Police officers from Hamilton, Windsor and the OPP will join London officers to monitor activities. On this day, London Hydro crews were helping supply services to a mobile command unit being set up on Audrey Ave just off of Bruffdale. Over the years, the task force has developed strategies to improve safety, including using fencing in the middle of the street to ensure anyone experiencing a medical event can be cared for and removed safely.
We're just hoping that people keep the roadways clear. We need to ensure that emergency services can get through to the people that need them.
The city is stressing there can be consequences for letting things get out of hand, including fines for hosting a nuisance party, attending a nuisance party, or for using a closed road. While the street party on Bruffdale and other locations surrounding the campus always capture a lot of attention, the university stresses that these are not sanctioned homecoming events. The university will host FanFest, which will run in conjunction with the annual homecoming football game. They're hoping to keep students on campus, but acting Vice Provost of Students Stephanie Hain-Beatty says it's important for students to help keep festivities safe wherever they are.
Our message to students is to take care of themselves, take care of each other, and take care of the community. So it's a shared responsibility, right? We do a lot on campus to keep them safe, and we need them to be part of that solution as well.
The task force is also sending a strong message about gender-based and sexual violence, whether it be catcalls, inappropriate gestures, or unwanted physical contact. They say there will be zero tolerance when it comes to those behaviors. Jerry DeWan, CTV News.
A two-vehicle crash sent a tractor-trailer into a ditch near Wingham this afternoon. According to police, it happened around 4:30 p.m. on Highway 86 between Bluevale and Wingham. The transport truck was upside down in the ditch, spilling its load onto the road. Emergency responders have said they can't confirm the extent of any injuries or how many people were involved, only saying they expected a lengthy road closure. Premier Doug Ford announced a ban on speed cameras today, reiterating his belief, calling them a cash grab. He says his government will table legislation to turn all of Ontario's speed cams off by mid-November. Instead, he says municipalities will have to put up warning signs in school zones, telling drivers to slow down, pushing for traffic calming measures that don't involve tickets.
They'd have zero tickets if they slowed them down. Instead, we're seeing hundreds of thousands of tickets. That's the proof in the pudding right there.
The Ontario Police Officers Association is endorsing the government's plan, but the Chiefs of Ontario Police Association has said ending the use of cameras will put pedestrians at risk. A demonstration today on the Wellington Road overpass above the 401. Health advocates were protesting what they call the increasing privatization of Ontario's healthcare system.
Well, you're seeing here the manifestation of frustration with the Ford government's approach to public health care. And actually, it's to the point that now we're demanding that this province enforce its legal obligation to provide universal medically necessary care in public hospitals. We're sending that clear message today that people are hurting. So many people have been sent into cataract surgeries needlessly with threats that they would have to wait extreme lengths of time that are not true. They're paying out of pocket when this is already covered under OHIP.
Private healthcare's got to go.
We are going to be in the public eye as frequently as possible, as many demonstrations are happening province-wide. And it's going to send a clear message to the government that stop the phony baloney, pretend that we are fighting for you in Ontario, but meanwhile Americanizing our healthcare system.
To the manslaughter trial at the London courthouse. During today's testimony, the mother of the toddler who died told the court she was scared when, at one point, investigators considered her a person of interest in the case. With more, here's Nick Paparella.
Throughout her 6 days on the stand testifying, Roseanne Vanderweel has broken down several times when thinking about the final days of her little boy's life. 15-month-old Nathaniel McClellan died in October of 2015 from a head injury after being picked up from his babysitter's house in Strathroy. Vanderweel said initially officers looking into the death considered the mother to be a person of interest. I was just scared of everything in my life. I was in heavy grief. No one even knew or understood, so I was scared. She went on, I knew that he wasn't injured with me, so I still believed that it could have been an accident at the daycare provider's house. But after meeting with doctors as her child lay dying in a hospital bed, she said, they told me that this was a significant injury, and whoever was with him would have known, and the damage was done immediately. I still didn't believe that someone would hurt him, and I knew I hadn't. Vanderweel tells the court she doesn't recall a lot of what she told police 10 years ago. As an expectant mother at the time, she broke down and said, I was hardly surviving. I was worried about my unborn child, and I didn't think that I would make it. She continued, I loved my son with all my heart, and I was so scared. That's what I was feeling. 6 years later, in 2021, provincial police would eventually charge the babysitter, 46-year-old Megan Van Hoof. She had operated an unlicensed daycare from her home in Strathroy. She has pled not guilty to 1 count of manslaughter. Later in the cross-examination, Vanderweel told the court that as the years passed with no arrests in the case, she would email the police several times asking about the status of the investigation and Van Hoof, saying, because I dropped off a healthy baby, he had been in her care. The trial is nearing the end of its 2nd week. Nick Paparella, CTV News.
A new strategy proposed at City Hall to create more indoor space this winter for Londoners with nowhere else to go when the temperature drops. Daryl Newcomb reports.
Deadly temperatures back in January during this cold weather alert caught City Hall flat-footed, eventually triggering the opening of a warming center inside the Carlyle Heights Optimist Community Center. So before winter's return, city staff are proposing a temporary warming center framework.
I was extremely pleased to see this report coming this early in the year. For many years, as you know, it's been late into the fall before we're having this discussion.
Last winter, Toronto's warming centres were opened at -5 degrees, but London's criteria remained at -15 or -20 with wind chill. The new tiered approach would open 20 additional beds, 5 per shelter, all winter. A second tier would maintain the 70 overnight beds at Arcade's Cronin Warner location, and at -15 or -20 wind chill, 50 drop-in warming spaces would open, and the final tier, a temporary pop-up warming center for 60 people. City staff reviewed municipal properties and are recommending that the Boyle Community Centre here in the Old East Village be the location for the pop-up warming center during those most extreme cold weather events. In total, the framework would cover up to 200 beds and spaces this winter, and the same number next winter, at an annual cost of $3.6 million. But Sarah Campbell points out the crisis doesn't subside when temperatures moderate.
If it's an emergency at -20, it's still an emergency at -10, -5, +5, and +25.
I would have been pretty well in the street.
John Kilburn is staying at Cronin Warner. It opened almost 2 years ago as a winter response, but extended into year-round service. The temporary warming center framework would extend the funding through March 2027.
Basically a safe haven, a place that I could come, can go to school, can study.
Over 140 people have secured housing after staying at Cronin Warner. Campbell still hopes to see a long-term funding commitment from the city to address the growing needs year-round.
In a city where we're seeing 19% growth in homelessness, those are the city's own numbers, where we see the desperation on our streets and in neighborhoods all across the city, it's to be seen if it's enough.
The Community and Protective Services Committee will consider the temporary warming center framework on September 29th. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
Thousands of music fans attended the inaugural Rock the Runway event at London's airport earlier this month. And for many, the shows lived up to the hype, but leaving the parking lot after proved a long and frustrating experience. As Lawrence Delone reports, organizers are acknowledging where things went wrong and offering compensation.
Some fans felt Noah Kahan's lyrics from his hit song You're Gonna Go Far, far too literally at London's Rock the Runway earlier this month.
The concert ended, we got to the car at 11:07. I got in my car and we did not start moving like actually moving in lines until about 12:30, 12:45.
Many concert goers took to social media saying it took them a number of hours to get out of the parking lot. The two-day festival took place at London International Airport.
We walked into that venue. It's basically an empty runway on Tuesday at 8 a.m. and by Friday at 4 p.m. we hosted 25,000 people.
Organizers say while they consider the event a success, they also recognize where things went wrong.
We got a lot of emails and messages sent to us, and we want to get it right.
Those who spend money on parking can expect to receive a full refund within the next 5 to 7 business days.
Thank you for enjoying a great night with us, and we're going to get it better.
Organizers say they hope this is something that will continue to bring Londoners together for years to come.
Just gives us an opportunity to do that next level entertainment that we haven't been able to do in London or southwestern Ontario.
Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
Still ahead, the future of feeding Midwestern Ontario, a chance for local ag workers to experience life on the farm.
5K a day is back on 97.5
Virgin Radio.
Listen to Jeff, KP, and Backstage Ben for your chance to win $5,000
Every weekday.
5K a day.
Virgin Radio.
Canada's main stock index finished lower, weighed down by losses in the technology sector. The TSX lost 25 points in New York. The Dow fell 174. The Nasdaq dropped 113. The Canadian dollar down almost 1/5 cent. On commodity markets, gold gained $3 an ounce. Oil lost just a penny a barrel. Oxford County officials are speaking publicly for the first time since a cyber attack on the municipality's IT systems. They say personal information on thousands of employees going back decades may have been breached. And as Brian Bicknell reports, it could be months before the situation is fully resolved.
From administration to libraries to public works and everything a two-tier government does. If you work or have worked for Oxford County, you may already be a victim.
I'm very sorry. As the warden, I'm sorry to staff that may have had their information compromised.
Warden Marcus Ryan says the county now has reason to believe personal information of current and former employees may have been compromised in a cyber attack, which the county made public September 15th.
Unfortunately, it's somewhat a reality of 2024, 2025, 2026 that this is going to happen. IT experts have been telling us all for years that these things are going to happen to you. You need to prepare. Thankfully, we were in the process of preparing. You can never be prepared enough. Bad guys are always going to find a way.
The county says it's using third-party cybersecurity experts in its forensic investigation and to contain the breach. Now, just how deep this information breach goes is not known, say county officials, but as many as 4,000 people may be affected, including 1,000 current and another 3,000 former employees. There are many more questions the county cannot answer publicly for fear of tipping off the criminals, like who is responsible, how it happened, and whether ransom has been asked for. IT expert Carmi Levy says right now, much is at stake for employees.
Much of this information is personal, private, financial. It is incredibly damaging if it falls into the wrong hands. And now that it's been weaponized, that it's out there, it will be used in ways like this indefinitely. The risk doesn't just go away because the headlines fade. These thousands of current and former employees are going to now face this risk for literally the rest of their lives.
Levy advises employees to take full advantage of credit monitoring and identity protection services from the county. Meantime, Ryan can't say what the county's response is costing ratepayers, except that so far it's within an allocated budget for emergency responses.
But we will be managing this on an ongoing basis for months, because once somebody has gained access, whatever it is, you're continually evaluating then what exactly did they get access to.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Good evening. Cloud cover holds overnight. Watch for some fog through the overnight and first thing in the morning, especially if you are traveling right around sunrise. This is a photo of Stella. Thanks so much, Lynn, for sending this one in. If you're taking Stella for a walk this morning, temperatures will be nice and mild. Cloudy skies continue and winds will be light. The trend, clearing conditions for the weekend and summer-like temperatures. Stay with us. We'll have all your local forecast details coming up.
Welcome back on the desk now with Julie Atchison as we get toward what is looking like a really great summery weekend still. Last couple days have been a fall-like introduction to the season, but turning back around for the weekend.
Yes, sunshine and temperatures in the mid-20s. So people will think, yes, this summer extension holding on. We have gorgeous weather in the forecast early next week and right through the end of September, early October. Forecast models, all signs are pointing to some gorgeous conditions. 20 degrees are high today, 16 degrees are low, so close to normal. It's our overnight lows that have been well above. Mild conditions overnight, basically a repeat of what we had last night with some fog developing through the early morning hours. The satellite radar, the low pressure system at the surface, is now just east of Lake Ontario, driving rain showers toward the Maritimes tonight with overcast conditions. High pressure will be building in for your Friday and skies will start to clear. We do have a bit of cloud cover to contend with first thing Friday morning, but by the afternoon, we should see a nice mix of sun and cloud. Probability of showers as we head towards Grey and Bruce County, about a 30% chance. And the reason, a weak little cold front's coming in from the northwest. You can see it by the cloud cover and a few very light spotty showers. Other than that, the rest of the region will be in the clear and back into a nice mix of sun and cloud as we head through the afternoon. Daytime high tomorrow above normal, 24 degrees, beautiful conditions and winds light and variable out of the west at about 10 kilometers per hour as we head through the latter half of the day. Midwestern Ontario, daytime highs from 20 to 22 degrees. Beautiful weather right across southern Ontario. Saturday sunshine, Sunday sunshine, daytime highs 24 to 26. Looking at the extended forecast models, all signs are pointing to above average temperatures through the second week of October. So daytime highs normally this time of year around 18 to 19 degrees. We're going to bump that up between 24 and 25 over the weekend. A bit of a tick down as we head towards midweek next week, 22 to 20, but still beautiful conditions, even double-digit overnight lows until early next week. Midwestern Ontario, your forecast and cloud cover first thing in the morning. It will be a bit of a gray start to the day, but the sunshine will break out by the afternoon as the dry air works its way in. Sunshine Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll take that. Beautiful conditions. I'm sure many of you are hoping to get out and enjoy some fall activities. Lots of fall fairs are still going on in and around our region this weekend. Get out and enjoy some fun fall activities. Take a hike. This gorgeous weather, it's not going to stick around forever, so we'll take advantage of it rather while it's here. Carlyle, back to you.
Thanks very much, Julie. Dozens of young people got a hands-on look at life in our local agriculture sector this week. With more on the lessons learned and their potential career paths, here's Scott Miller.
Young people think of, if you're in ag, you're either an ag equipment tech or you're a farmer, and there's just, so many opportunities.
Over 100 kids enrolled in the Specialist High Skills Major in Agriculture program in Huron and Perth counties spent their Wednesday learning about some of the jobs that are out there for them.
This program, it really gives students the opportunity to get their feet wet in agriculture, even if they don't come from a farm. Just kind of jump in, see what it's about.
Some kids already know what they want to do in agriculture and food production.
Oh, I love working with cows, and big tractors. It's awesome.
It's hands-on, and you really get involved with your community too. And I love being outdoors and love the farming experience too.
The need is certainly there in Canadian agriculture. 1 in 9 jobs are in agriculture and food production in the country, and 40% of farmers will be retiring over the next decade, leaving a void of more than 24,000 jobs to be filled.
Country is cool again. That's kind of the saying these days. But yeah, there's so many opportunities locally to work for ag-based companies, and it's exposing these students to those opportunities and letting them know what's out there for them.
You can look at the enthusiasm of the kids that are here today. I think it says something that they're all involved in this agriculture course that wasn't around when I was in school.
This event is about more than just getting kids into agricultural jobs. It's talking about safety and mental health, something that really has been largely ignored in the agricultural world for many decades.
Youth in our rural communities have so much further to go for services. They have, it is really hard working in agriculture. It's hard living in a rural community. These are real pressures that you feel.
An ag showcase is already in the works for next year as well, because the need for ag workers will be almost unending for the foreseeable future. In Listowel, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Taxpayer
should be really concerned about these cost overruns to host this handful of international soccer games.
Proponents, though, say the economic benefits will make it worthwhile, as will the memories and the mascots. John Benavali-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.